The gaseous envelope of Earth. Today we are going to study about our Earth's atmosphere. Let's get into our atmosphere. Atmosphere, the shell of gases around the Earth. The present day atmosphere is the product of a long evolutionary process that began more than 4 billion years ago. The atmosphere of the primitive world was anaerobic, that is, free of oxygen, and it was the origin of photosynthetic prokaryotes that turned the anaerobic atmosphere into aerobic. The atmosphere is composed of many different gases and suspended particles. It contains minute liquid or solid particles in a suspended form, which forms the aerosols. Most of these are seen in the lower atmosphere, that is up to 80 kilometers from the Earth's surface. Stratification of atmosphere. Based on the variation in air temperature, the atmosphere is divisible vertically into five layers: troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. We shall look into each of them individually in detail. It is the lowest part of the atmosphere. It is about 10 to 15 kilometers thick and contains approximately two-thirds of the mass of gas in the biosphere. The temperature in this zone decreases in altitude or height. Air temperature in this zone decreases with height at the rate of about 6.5 degrees Celsius per kilometer. It is the region of strong wind movements and cloud formation. Life is confined to the zone, so it is known as the zone of life. The junction of troposphere with the layer above where the temperature may fall to minus 60 degrees Celsius is known as the tropopause. Stratosphere. Above the troposphere, that extends up to an altitude of about 50 kilometers. The temperature shows an increasing trend. With higher altitude, the temperature may reach up to 90 degrees Celsius. The wind movement here is called the jet streams, which influences our weather and climate very greatly. The ozone layer is present in the stratosphere, which is formed due to the influence of ultraviolet rays of sunlight, and it protects us from harmful UV rays. Commercial jet aircraft fly in the lower stratosphere to avoid the turbulence which is present in the troposphere. The tropopause is the junction of the stratosphere with its above layer. Mesosphere. It is above the stratosphere and extends up to 90 kilometers. The temperature shows a decreasing trend with altitude, and up to 80 kilometers it is the lowest temperature. Meteors that enter from the space into the Earth's atmosphere starts burning up as they reach the mesosphere. Mesosphere is the highest elevation at which a cloud can form. We feel very cold as we reach the mesosphere because the molecules of nitrogen and oxygen which absorbs the sun's energy makes the mesosphere very cold. The mesopause is the junction where mesosphere meets the upper layer. Thermosphere. The outermost layer of the atmosphere is known as the thermosphere, which shows an increasing trend of temperature. It extends beyond 80 kilometers. The Karman line is seen in this layer. Thermopause is the uppermost part of the thermosphere. Earth's curvature becomes distinctly clear as we reach the thermosphere. The space travelers begin to experience weightlessness as they reach here. Air molecules are widely spaced, and the gases in this layer become ionized due to radiant energy, and up to 300 kilometers these because of this phenomenon, The area is known as ionosphere. The presence of ionosphere gives a feature to the thermosphere, that is, it is a home to the phenomenon known as auroras. The highest layer of the Earth's atmosphere, known as the exosphere, which marks the edge of space. It extends from 400 kilometers to 10,000 kilometers from the Earth's surface. It has very few molecules present, and they are widely spaced that they hit each other at a very high speed. It has a presence of the lightest gases like hydrogen and helium, and the features of exosphere is almost very same to the space. The low orbiting satellites is present in the exosphere. Geocorona is the part of an exosphere which is known as the glowing part. The graph on the left side shows the temperature trend as we move from one sphere to the next. The troposphere has a moderate temperature. The stratosphere shows an increasing trend. Mesosphere shows a decreasing trend, and the thermosphere shows the highest increasing trend, reaching about 90 degrees Celsius of temperature. The graph on the right side shows the composition of air in the atmosphere. Nitrogen with 78.08%, oxygen 20.95%, argon 0.93%, and carbon dioxide with other gases including water vapor comprising 0.04%. Next, we shall look over to the comparison of our primitive Earth's atmosphere and the recent one. The primitive atmosphere was a reducing atmosphere, that is, it was without free oxygen. Its most common element was hydrogen. It had no ozone layer, therefore, ultraviolet radiation freely reached the Earth. It was very hot. It was favorable to the origin of life and it allowed chemical evolution. The recent atmosphere, it is an oxidizing one, that is with free oxygen. It has about 20.95% oxygen and less than 0.04% of hydrogen. It has thick ozone layer that prevents the ultraviolet radiation reaching the earth. It has moderate temperature and it is not favorable to the origin of life and does not allow chemical evolution. And with this, our atmosphere part gets an end. So if you have any doubts, you can put it into our group. So thank you. Thank you very much.